Hi, this is Laurece West from Laurece West Studios. I'm a voice and performance coach for professional gospel and sacred singing and career invigorating speaking. Today, I want to talk to you about mindset, some beginning concepts, and I will continue in this series. The thing that happens to us between 0 and 7 is that we are taking in a lot of information from our families. Our brains are in theta brainwaves. That is the brainwave of hypnosis and creativity. And the hypnosis is so that our brains are really receptive to everything that comes in. It just basically imprints on us. How you behave in the house, how you brush your teeth, how you eat with a fork, how you behave in public, how you behave at school, etc. All these rules. But what's also imprinting into us is our parental beliefs and the way people communicate, the way they interact, how people do relationships, their beliefs about money, their beliefs about communication, their beliefs about their job. And they say that someone who is rich, grows up rich, unless they do something really stupid, they'll be rich because it's just what they're used to. Someone who's poor will usually reset themselves to being poor. A lot of things have to change in the mindset because it's subconscious. Now, what happens is if consciously I want to create something in my life and subconsciously it's against that belief system and I'm not even conscious of it, then what we get is what's called chaotic energy. So my conscious mind is saying foot on the gas, and my subconscious mind is saying foot on the brake, so that we don't manifest things in that situation. So they say that lottery winners often will spend right back down to what they're used to, and sometimes even more. And it's known that people in sales will do kind of the same thing year after year, unless there's major shifts, because it's like someone's set point. Same thing with income levels. So I was talking about poor and rich, but you get that. We all have these personal ceilings. And part of my work with people is to break through those limitations. I used to find before I had structured terms of work with someone that people would quit. There was one year that a whole bunch of people quit at like session 10. And I was like, whoa, what happened? This was about 2002. And it taught me a really good lesson. It was like my lesson for that time period as a coach. And it was that people were actually getting what they wanted. And they started creating all this drama around cancellation and payments. And I was like, wow, what really happened? So I started to set like a term and really clarify the payments and the cancellation and the timing. And so we didn't have to deal with that. So we could just deal with what was going on with the person in the session. And then I started to notice when someone would come up against this bunched up stuff that I could just say, look, you've just reached a wall and I'm going to gently guide you around this, because the other you on the other side, even though you said you want this, the ego is flipping out because it doesn't know this bigger, more expressive, more powerful, earning, more you self. Like you are going to unlock some more of your own personal energy. Because all that stuff that was programmed in, that's a lot of it's not even ours. It's just stuff that we're like acting out these programs. So I help people get breakthroughs, but what happens is I have to guide them around that. And when we have that structured container, we can do that because the resistance can be really strong. If you think about the hero's journey, and Joseph Campbell has talked about this, but we know this from films, right? There's always a conquest and there's always a guide. Like if we talk about Lord of the Rings, it's like, or about the Hobbit, it's Gandalf, you know, the wisdom person. And I see myself as that person guiding someone. But then you'll have pals along the way, and then there's all these dragons and moats and hills to climb and things, their inner and outer resistances that we have to actually getting to our path, our goal. And we usually have to envision a new self. We have to reprogram our subconscious with what we want. So we'll talk more about that, but I want you to think about, where have you wanted something and it hasn't worked out? And I'm not talking about something that involves another person. I'm talking about personal, because we don't have control over other people. But where have you wanted a goal and it's just not happening? Those are usually places where there's some sort of chaotic energy going on. I want you to think about that. You can put some notes below. Maybe that's too personal. You could send me a personal note about that. But I can help and support you through that. And I work with all the singers and speakers on that, because they're wanting certain goals, but if their mind is unconsciously saying, who am I to do this? I'm not good enough. And some of the stuff we're not even conscious of. It ends up being a really hard journey until we start to release that stuff and grow into that new self that we're wanting to create. So until next time, sing and speak with your heart. Take good care.